Okay. Okay. Good morning. Today is September 8th, 2020. My name is Valerie, and I am representing voters for Voiceless. I'm talking to you guys right now because, of course, there's a last-minute scramble for the Town of Hempstead board meeting. We have recently found out that they, once again, found a way to take something away from the public and not even communicate it. So since COVID struck, the town introduced a new email address so that, because at that time, people couldn't participate and attend the public board meetings. So they erected a new email address, which was publicresponse@tohmail.org. And you could submit an email, and then your email would be read into record. It worked beautifully for the first couple of meetings, for the about first 3 or 4 meetings after they introduced it. And then when they received a decent amount of emails, I believe the number was 83, Don Clavin, the current supervisor of the town of Hempstead, decided to host a 15-minute meeting and not read your emails into record. So after that, there was a big uproar. There was several news outlets that did a story on it, and everyone was enraged. So then they went back to reading everyone's emails into record. Really just goes to show you the history of how they really don't want you to be heard. The town of Hempstead really does not want your participation in your local government. If they did, these meetings would be held at night instead of 10:30 in the morning in the middle of a work week when most people are working. And even if they're working virtually, they are certainly not getting paid to sit in front of a computer and watch a Town of Hempstead board meeting in the hopes that they'll have 3 minutes to participate verbally. So now let's fast forward to today. The town changed their protocol, and of course they did not communicate it to the public. All they did, if you're with me, I hope you are on this screen, is put a link here, click here for September 8th public hearing participation instructions. What they didn't tell you anywhere, this is the home page of the website. What they didn't tell you is that they were no longer going to be accepting your emails to be read into public record. And I personally find this ridiculous. They do, hang on one second, I lost my screen. They do press conferences for every little thing you can imagine, right? They did a press conference this year reminding people to flush their toilets. They sent out expensive mailers to be able to communicate the fact that they are hosting movies and concerts. They do a press conference for if a tree falls down. I mean, there's press conferences galore happening in this town. Now, what's going on here? So the reality about them not communicating this to the public on a grander scale is simply because they don't want to. So they don't want your emails. They don't want your emails to be read into the record. They don't want your participation. That is my humble opinion, and I am very certain of it. That said, let's go over here. Just in case you have the ability and the time, you can click here. This is the home page of the Town of Hempstead website. That's hempsteadny.gov. Click here. Now listen to all these steps. You have to use a smartphone. This is for a telephonic participation. Down here, you can use your computer, but very important, you have to have a microphone connected to your computer. So down here is your webinar ID. Let's start with this one. Instructions for telephonic participation using a smartphone. So what happens if you don't have a smartphone, like a lot of seniors? Well, I guess you're SOL, sorry seniors. And what happens if you're having a tech issue? Well, you're SOL too. All right, so let's click here. Now, this is fun. You also have to download this app, go to webinar. So go to the App Store or whatever it's called on the other types of phones and download this app. Afterwards, you open the app and then you click down here, join with webinar ID. Here is the webinar ID number. Afterwards, you enter your first name, last name, email address, and register. Then you can add it to your calendar. I mean, sorry for this last minute scramble. The meeting is in an hour and 15 minutes. I'm hoping at least one of you might see this and decide to jump on. Then you click OK. OK, fine. It says do not switch to a phone call. And then I should also mention that, hold on one second, I gotta find something here. No, that's not it. Well, I got a registration email which has further instructions. And, you know, look, I'm hoping this goes smoothly for myself today. I certainly will be on this call and watching the hearing. But I want to make this point too. You know, a young lady who's a member of our page, Voters for Voiceless, a millennial, she said, you know, why do they do this? Why do they make everything so difficult and so inaccessible? And I said, I believe it's because they really don't want your participation. She said that, you know, only people that have the privilege and the luxury of being able to physically go to these meetings in the middle of the day, 10:30 in the morning, it's not even a lunch break, and sit there for potentially hours at a time. It's not a common scenario. And again, I believe this is planned and it's strategical. Anyway, I want to encourage her to always participate no matter what. So, excuse me, the last thing I just want to say is that in addition to this latest tech option to be able to attend virtually, which I want to say I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's a good thing to offer this. However, I don't think they should have removed your ability to send an email. I mean, for all of those people that we're talking about, the teachers who are going back to school, the parents who are trying to make a living, you know, the people who have jobs, whether they're working virtually or not, they're working and they're not supposed to be doing anything else. So email was a fantastic solution if they wanted to hear from their constituents. A person could take the time over the weekend or at night when they're not working, compose an email, hit send, and then boom, you know, you're hearing from your constituents on a much larger scale. I'm curious to know how many people are going to be able to join this today, but I don't think it's going to be a lot, and I think that makes them very happy. I hope you guys spread the word. I hope you can attend. For those of you who do, that's fantastic. And for those of you who can't, I totally feel your frustration, and I'm sorry that they took your email ability away. And all I can say is you can continue to email your representatives directly. Feel free to post them on social media and tag your local representatives, because I think that's very effective. And, you know, please continue to spread the word and invite people to our page. voters for Voiceless on Facebook and Instagram. We will continue to grow, and we will rock the next election, because this is unacceptable. Everybody have a good day.